like I told the team, the bad news is we took a whipping. The good news was we all took it together. I don't think anybody could look in the mirror and say, I had a great day, but the other boys didn't. I don't think either side of the ball could say, well, we did our job and the other boys didn't. It was just a team loss. We got beat by a very good team that was very primed and ready to go. I thought their fans were outstanding. I guess they broke a new record in attendance, I was told. And so they grabbed momentum early and held on to it, at least through the first quarter. Second quarter, I thought we slowed it down a little bit, stopped the bleeding to a certain degree. Thought the momentum was kind of up for grabs in the second half. The score was, we were definitely down 21, but felt like we could grab some momentum with a good drive to to get things moving in our direction. And that wasn't the case. Their defense just about the entire night, just took care of business. You got to give them a lot of credit. We got the consolation touchdown at the end, just so we didn't get the goose egg, but they whipped us pretty good. So the other thing I told the guys is whether you lose by 28 or you lose at overtime, it's one loss. When it comes to rankings and things like that, you can take a pretty good whipping, pretty good beating in the polls, but when it comes to SEC play, you got one loss. And so does that mean the season's over for Georgia? No, we still have an opportunity to keep fighting and keep playing and getting better and winning. And if we're able to do that, then we'll have a chance to get back to Atlanta. We're definitely not going to give up on that thought. So that'll be the goal. We do have an open date. We do have to watch the film, unfortunately, but we got to learn as much as we can learn from it. Make whatever corrections that we need to make, and try to get a good mix of improving on fundamentals, and maybe, but also we want to get a little lift in, a little run in. We also want to get a little bit of rest too. There's going to be another 6, 7, 8 games to go, and we want to have as much energy as we can as we start the second half of the season. I think we're injury free, at least anything serious, which is good, and we just hope everybody gets home safe and gets ready to go back to work on Monday.
Did you think that was possible against this offense?
Well, anything's possible if you coach long enough. Anything's possible. I'll have to watch everything, but I don't feel like early on our backs really had an awful lot of. They didn't get an awful lot of space early on. There were some times when Murray definitely got pressured early. And then when there were some times when we did protect well and had some people open, we missed a couple opportunities. So I think it was a situation where we were going to have to make a couple big plays to get ourselves energized. I thought I didn't see us, especially in the first half, being able to generate some kind of a drive because their front was whipping us. And so you hope to make a play here and there to change the momentum of the game, and we just couldn't get it done. Even down there when we decided to go for it. I mean, it was my decision to go for a touchdown. Once we got down inside in the red zone area there, thought a touchdown would have felt a lot better than 3 at that point. 3 points might have felt good. I mean, it might have been good. I don't know. Now the game's over, I think going for a touchdown was probably the smart thing to do. But we did not score. Again, they did a good job of keeping us out of the end zone in that first half. So we got to give them credit.
How about the speed of their defense, particularly on the front end?
Yeah, very. They've got great speed, but they're very long human beings. I mean, they're 6'8", 6'6", got long arms. I think a couple times we were blocking them halfway decent, trying to run them by the quarterback, but they were so, their arms are so long, and they are so athletic that Murray was getting grabbed or whatever right at the last moment where as he's trying to move up into the pocket. We did a good job at times giving our tackles a little bit help with our backs, chipping and tight ends nudging. We call it a nudge block to try to help on the edges. And then there was a couple times we just flat out had 5 receivers out and said, "Hey, tackles, you're on your own." And we were able to step up and make a couple plays. But overall, everybody wants to talk about their edge players, and they are outstanding. But the guys inside are pretty strong too. They're pretty stout, stout against the run, and stout enough to push the pocket up in the face of the quarterback. So when you do try to step up, there's just not a whole lot of room to go. And then, I think they're smart enough to know they don't have to create a bunch of pressure other than let them cats sick them, And if you're able to get pressure with a 4-man rush and you're able to disrupt the running game without, bringing a lot of blitzes and all. Now they did play a lot of one high safety stuff. They did have another, defender in the box most of the time against the run, but they when they did play man coverage, they played pretty good. And when we had opportunities, we just didn't put it on them.
Mark, do you think that's a fair indication of how far your program is away from being elite in terms of going up against them?
Well, tonight we weren't very good. Tonight we weren't very good, but the world hasn't ended, and we do still have an awful lot to play for. We got a lot of games to play, and a lot of things can happen. If we can get back on the winning track, a lot of good things can happen. So that's what we're going to be, fighting hard to do, and then just we'll kind of see where everything lands. There's a lot of football, not only for Georgia, but for South Carolina, Florida, and Tennessee, and everybody. So we'll see how it goes.
Mark, they had those first 2 drives when that punt return was really damaging when that kind of.
Oh yeah, I mean, 3 touchdowns in a row unanswered, and it wasn't like we had we might have had a couple first downs here and there. So then it resembled a drive, but nothing that really threatened them. So, but then we started getting some stops on defense, and once you start getting stops, it gives you everything stabilizes enough to where if you're able to put 7 on the board, even if it was 21-7 before the half, you sit there, you get the ball, you're not in that bad of shape. And even if 21-0 getting the ball, you still, if you put 7 on the board there, you're not too bad of shape. You're not where you want to be, but you start, creating some momentum for your own team. But it just didn't happen tonight.
Coach, is that the best South Carolina team you've played since you've been here?
Probably. Yeah, they were very, very solid. They were very solid all the way around. I can't sit there. I mean, after tonight, I don't know what I could say that was a weakness for them because it was such a thorough beating tonight.
They cover a lot better than you thought they would.
Sir?
They cover a lot better than you.
Well, I thought they covered well, but the combination of covering well and then the pressure that gets put on the quarterback, I mean that's part of pass defense as much as the coverage. And I think if the quarterback can stand back there and side it up and put it on them, I think we would have more success. But it was a good combination of both, I thought.
How'd you think Aaron played tonight?
Well, I'll probably look at the film a little bit more to really gauge that. I know the pick was certainly a ball that got batted. I don't think he had much, couldn't have done much else with that one in particular. I know there's a couple balls as they were happening. I feel like he missed the mark a couple times. Was it more than a couple times? I'd have to look and how much duress was he really under? I have to watch the film to really gauge that. But certainly wasn't a banner day.
Coach, can you talk about the play of your secondary?
Well, they did get behind us a couple times, and we got hurt by it. The one time early in the game where they got behind us, Rambo recovered well and was close to getting the pick. It was really a big play by South Carolina's receiver to keep that from being a pick and actually coming down with it. That was a huge momentum play early in the game. I mean, if we got that pick right there, and then the offense finds a way to make a play, and all of a sudden, the momentum at least starts out in a positive way for Georgia. But again, I think they only threw 10 passes, 6 out of 10 for some big chunks. But that's what happens when you run the ball so well that your play action pass just becomes like gold. And it's even when we did sack him one time, we might have got him only once. He was back there holding the ball for a while. But early on when we rushed him, like you would a conventional drop back passer, like we knew he's going to step up and he's going to go run for a first down, which he did on numerous occasions, especially early on. We just had to get used to doing it in the game, and we practiced it. We talked about it. Don't rush higher than the quarterback. You rush past the quarterback, then there's only 2 guys left. 3 guys are blocking him, and there's a bunch of running lanes, and he can run. He played an outstanding game. And we did nothing to make it tough on him. You know what I mean, as far as decision making or have to drop back and throw and make a bunch of plays that way. I mean, they threw when they wanted to throw. That's what happened.
So much of the season, at least from what the players have said to us for months now, has been about Miami and these big goals. And now that you have suffered a loss,
right,
how tough do you think it's going to be to get them back?
Oh, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. I mean, you're supposed to dream big. I want guys to dream big, but they're good men, and they're going to fight, and they're going to just start banging away again, because you just never know what can happen. You never know what can happen. So, we'll get back to work on Monday, and they'll come back together, and we'll play good football again.
Mark, when you're down 21 points after 10 minutes, did you think we weren't ready to play, or did you think they were just really good?
They were really good. There's no doubt about that. But it's a long game. I mean, you say 10 minutes, you got 50 to go. So a lot of things can happen in 50 minutes. So, did I think we'd climb back in it and make it more competitive? Yeah. But we were not able to do that. I mean, even when we're down 28 in the fourth, I've been in a game where we were down 28 in the fourth and scored 4 touchdowns. So, I knew that was possible as well, but we just couldn't get it going.
How disruptive was Lattimore for y'all tonight?
Well, he's a great back, obviously. If you hold a guy to around 100 yards, most of the times you think that wasn't a very good day, but against Lattimore, it's not a bad day, really. But he's just a good back. I think he's more than good. He's a great back. He's a great player. I mean, we knew that before the game, though.
Did your defense blow down in the fourth quarter?
I don't know. I think sometimes you can wear down physically, but you can wear down emotionally to a certain degree as well. And I thought they kept fighting. I don't think it was a situation where we quit fighting. I thought South Carolina just was a very good team and had a great game plan and played hard tonight. And once they got the momentum, they never let it go. But I think the guys played hard. I don't think we'll look at the film and say the guys quit by any means.
Well, Coach, you said you knew what Connor Shaw could do running, when you saw him on film, but Jarvis said he was a lot more fast on the field than what you guys think. That's a good way to describe it. So,
well, that's him saying it. He was out there experiencing it. So, it's hard to simulate it. And you can tell guys, what a guy's capable of and what we're concerned about. Sometimes until it happens, it just happens to you. That was when we realized that we were telling the truth.
How important was it to get the touchdown late in the game so you didn't come away with getting shut out?
Oh, it feels better. It feels a little better to get 7 on the board. I don't think anybody wants to get shut out. That hurts. It's embarrassing. People start looking at record books. When was the last time Georgia got shut out and all that kind of stuff? So.
1995.
Is that what it was? You were ready to write it? Yeah, that's what I figured. So, at least we got 7 on the board, so we didn't have to worry about that one. But it wasn't like
Time for one more?
it wasn't like that made us feel like we had a good night or anything like that.
But with a lot of guys in the team from last year, after starting 0-2 and coming back and seeing the way things could play out, do you think that's going to make things a little easier to move on after this loss for those guys, knowing what could still happen, having experienced
Well, I think the bottom line is that everybody is the kind of person who will come back to work and try to get better. And, I don't think there's going to be one soul in there getting ready to point a finger at anybody, but his own performance. And so I've got a lot of faith that we'll get back to work. We'll make improvements. We'll start winning again.